y'all. This is Blazing Diamond Rose. This is part three of my video, my little video mini series. You are not alone. Um, First and foremost, I just want to remind you, um, that this is a spiritual war. This is a spiritual warfare. These times we're in, this um persecution that we're going through, these trials that we're going through, it is spiritual warfare. We do not war against flesh and blood, as it says in Ephesians 6:10, 6:10 through 24, I believe. We do not war against flesh and blood. We war against spiritual hosts of wickedness in high places and heavenly places and low places. We war against spiritual hosts, demonic beings, demonic entities seeking to influence our loved ones, seeking to influence our associates, seeking to influence anybody that we're around, seeking to transcend from the spiritual world, the dream world, which is not heaven, not the highest level. It's just the spiritual world, whereas it's completely, God has complete sovereignty over that, but yet He allows these demons to try to buffet us, of course. So, again, these beings are trying to transcend from the spiritual realm into our reality, trying to manifest, they're trying to influence people, beginning with us and others through breaches through our weaknesses, our human frailty, our sinful nature, temptations, afflictions, anything of the nature, trying to transcend, trying to cross that barrier, trying to get us to condemn ourselves and condemn others, trying to use us as pawns against others, use our family members against us. So, that part in the Bible where it talks about fathers will be against sons, and sons against fathers, and daughters against mothers, and mother-in-laws against their daughters-in-laws, and things of that nature. Um, Judgment will begin in the household of God, where it says, your enemies will be of your own household. All that is talking about what I get from that, from one of my prayers, my studies, my revelation in the Word. All that is talking about these spiritual entities, these spiritual hosts of wickedness that are trying to transcend and influence us and our loved ones and our associates, right? That's what we're warned against. So we're prime targets if we're believers or we're trying to come to God, or simply because we're called by God. As I told you, you don't even have to be a believer, but you can still be marked by God. He can still have a calling for you. You just may not realize it yet, may not actualize it. So these things are trying to perpetrate, trying to influence, trying to take over by any means that they're given, any means that they can fathom, that they can imagine, that they're trying to conjure up to try to transcend the spiritual world into our reality. And the best way to do that is to try to target the ones that are closest to us. Just like the Bible says, the ones who are closest to you, you're most familiar with, trying to get to those people, our children, our husbands, our wives, our aunts, our uncles, our friends, our associates, people we have to see through every day that we're familiar with. How can they cause divisions and stuff like that, right? How can they cause divisions and separations, breakdowns? And it's not like, why does Jesus, why does God allow us? Not like He really wants us to break up from our families, but to refine us. What did He say? He did not come to bring peace, but a sword. And what's that sword talking about? The sword, the word of the Spirit, the sword of the Spirit, right? As it talks about in Ephesians 6:17. But the key part is in it, no matter what, that because we're aware of these schemes, if we read the Bible, we're aware of these end times. We should be able to see them as it is and not do our best not to play into it. Whatever narratives they have is to test to see where our weaknesses are, where our temptations are, our afflictions are. Will we allow those things to provoke us to respond to them in a sinful way? If old sins are brought up to us, if new temptations for sins are brought up, will we follow through on those things? Will we fit the narrative? Will we be tempted? Oh, since they already think of me this way, I might as well act that way, right? I already got family members that way. I already got people coming at me. I might as well just play the role too, right? No, right? As it says in First Peter 4, it said those times are what First Peter 4, something like that, right? I'll look at it again, but anyway, those times are already well passed over for all those sins, sinfulness, carousing, partying, drunkenness, sexual immorality. Those times are well past, and it says that do not use persecution as an excuse to sin because you think you're being persecuted, because you think someone's being unfair to you. That doesn't give you justification to sin. This is not a time for eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? Those times, that's like denying Jesus, what he did for us on the cross, what he did for us by the life he lived, what he did for us by his resurrection, what he will do for us, and what he's doing by offering us hope, by offering us confidence that he already overcame this world, right? He already set the path for us, right? He already made the way. He is the way. He is the exit. He is the door. He is the light. He is the truth, right? So again, it's about exercising our faith. We can't use any of these adversities, the excuses to relive our past or to be like, oh, let's just give up and give in and be apathetic or be numb or just, oh, it's a time to purge. That time of purging was already over when you decided to become a Christian, right? If you claim in Jesus and as your Messiah, you already gave that up. That's not an excuse to be like, oh, let's we can just chill now and forget the calling that we have, forget the commitment that we made as children of God, right? So, again, like I said, we are in spiritual war. Do not let these things break you down. Do not play into the narrative of these demons. And again, no matter how aggravating, how heart-wrenching it is, how just crazy it is, remember, we are not warring against human beings. We are warring against demonic spirits trying to influence us. And with that said, God bless.